Hello everyone, my name is Luh Ayu Novitasari, and today I would like to explain about behavioristic approach. So first we will talk about definition, and then we will talk about the principles, and after that we will talk about the development, how it can happen, and then we will talk about the strengths and limitation, and then the last part is the most important part, which is the activity, what we can do with that approach, how we can implement that. So let's begin with the definition of behavioristic approach. So the definition of behavioristic approach is that the approach that concerns or focus more on the behavior towards any particular environments or circumstances through conditioning. And also, many behaviorists believe that the response that we give towards any particular circumstances or environment is depending on the stimulus. So if there is no stimulus, then there is no response. For an example, you have a cross, and then you never give a stimulus to your cross, and then there will be no response. And then the next one is the principle of behavioristic approach. So there are so many principles of behavioristic approach that we have to concern about. The first one is that the role of consequences, and then the second one is the reinforcers, punishers, and then the immediacy of consequences. And after that, the shaping, extinctions, and then the schedule of reinforcement. After that, maintenance, and then the role of antecedents. So those are the principles that we have to concern about when we are trying to implement this approach in the classroom. And then the development of the behavioristic approach. So first, this approach was found by Pavlov in the late of 1800s, and early of 1900s. So what he did is classical conditioning research. He did research to the dogs by giving unconditioned stimulus, which is food, and then and then the dog give the unconditioned response well, and then after several training to the dogs, and then the dogs give the conditioned response, which is it's like a conscious and unconscious response towards something else, towards some things. And then this research is continued by Thorndike with his the law of effect, which is hypothesis is that it's not only the behavior change, it's not only the conscious or unconscious thoughts, but it also depends on the environments of it depends on the environments as well, or the circumstances. And then after that, after Thorndike, and then it's continued by Skinner with his Skinner box, which is Skinner and Thorndike actually their experiments actually quite similar. It's more into the behavior, how any circumstances will change the behavior, which one is. So basically it's like that. And then the strength and limitation of this approach is that the strength is actually which is the purpose of this approach, is like reducing the unpleasant behavior, and then improving or increasing the pleasant behavior, which actually like changing behavior from unpleasant into pleasant behavior. And then the limitation is that actually this approach is quite difficult to be observed, or it's not really noticeable because especially in the activity, because normally behavioristic theories is quite different, or quite have different meaning with the cognitive approach theory. So basically, like, they're in the opposite. And then the activity of behavioristic approach, which we can see, is that the audiolingual method, because in audiolingual method the students will get the feedback immediately. So of course we know that in the audiolingual method the student will listen and then they will try to say what they have listened to. So, and then after that they will get the feedback immediately, like what is wrong and what is right. And then if it's wrong, they will get a punishment, which is they have to do it again. Or if it's right, they will get a praise. So basically it's like that. And it's quite noticeable for us to know, okay, this audiolingual method is actually also implementing this approach. Thank you.